All right, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you're from. And real quick, before we get started, as always, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' constant generosity and your support to me as always. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. If you guys are actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, if you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, the loyalty crown badges, if you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember, that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help. So thank you guys so much. And for today's video, with the anniversary ongoing right now, I already uploaded my polls. Seeing a lot of people's reactions to their own polls, it's pretty cool right now. A lot of people are either getting shafted, having fun, or saving, especially with Stellar Blade in about a month and a half away. I know a lot of people are trying to figure out what they want to do. That being said, for today, we are going to be talking about Siren, and obviously you might see a little bit of a wallpaper behind me. I did film the gacha video. I already have that rendered and edited, but I wanted to do that first, just so I can have it. So I am going to be doing testing, but technically that video was recorded first. But let's get started. So let me move over. And remember, when it comes to these type of videos, the way that I always do my testing is I like to talk about the income and timing of everything with the banners. Talk about the account. Maybe you want this character, maybe you don't, depending on where you're at. Then I like to talk about the waifu. Then I like to talk about the testing, the skills and everything that belong with the character. So let's get started and let's start talking about our lovely girl Siren. So right now, it is the anniversary. If you want a really strong character, TLDR, she's really good. I will be talking about her later. But if you are saving right now, if you really want the Stellar Blade collab and you don't have much, then maybe you can save. Hopefully you can get lucky with the daily free pulls. Don't forget, you get 21 of those for each banner. So hopefully you can luck sack it with either Siren or Mihara. Hopefully you can get both. So especially if you're ticketing to want an MLB, I'd wait at least until the last day to see if you get lucky. And when it comes to account status, for a lot of people, especially if you're new because of this anniversary and you're excited, I highly recommend going for Siren. If your heart is going for Mihara, I completely understand. But at least from an account standpoint, she will be a great B1 to support you right off the bat. If you are a veteran and you pretty much have every character in the game right now and you are just kind of playing for fun, if you're figuring out if you should get Siren or not, it depends. If you are competitive with solo raid, you want to progress better through other like union raids, then yes. If not, then go ahead and save if you want, save for future collabs or anything, because I feel like this character will change a lot when it comes to whether you go through a certain percentage point in solo raid or not. That being said, I do want to talk about something real quick before we talk about Siren herself, because they did add a new setting that Sky was talking about, and I think it's a really great one that I really want to point out for you guys. But if you go to the convenience tab in the settings and you scroll to the bottom, you see this minimum firing rounds adjustment. Basically, a lot of people in the past used to say that, especially for mobile users, if you were to use machine guns, you wouldn't get as much damage if you weren't hitting 60 FPS. If you were, you'd get the full damage, but it was tied to the frame rate. So you could probably get like half the damage, unfortunately. Now this feature ensures that you can actually get that damage back and you don't have to worry about it. So even if you're on PC or mobile, I highly recommend enabling this because it will help, especially for MG characters like Mihara coming out. So be aware of this. With that little tangent aside, let's go talk about Siren because I absolutely adore her. So obviously right now, I do have the gacha costume for her, but base design, we'll watch the costume gacha video tomorrow. But for now, this looks so good. Even base design for both characters, by the way. I know they're getting both gacha costumes, but both designs look phenomenal. I love her shooting pose, mostly because it's unique with the bubble aspect, but it's so funny to me just because of the arm thing. I just can't get over it. It's ridiculous. It's so good. I do wish they did a bit better with the JPS, but I can't complain. It looks really good. And honestly, I really like her suit design. Maybe I'm just a sucker for the blues, but it looks really, really good. A little bit of purple at the ends of her hair to match the liquid metal bubbles are so good. They did a great job with her. And when it comes to her chibi, the chibis in this game are always so good. For some reason, she has a lot of jiggle with her movement, which is kind of funny. But I kind of wish we had some better quality models. Like Blue Archive is insane, but it is Nikke, so it's not the most important thing. but they are very cute. Now, when it comes to Siren herself, when we're talking about her skills, she is a very needy character, unfortunately. I do have her maxed out right now. Honestly, right off the bat for a budget, I recommend going 777. With Drake's hero villain thing, you could probably get enough materials to do it because she is a very needy character. And in my opinion, I actually think skill 1 should at least be 8, like at the minimum, because it's really, really good for her. I've seen some people talk about her with mixed results, and I kind of want to give my opinion on it, so here we go. And that is, I do believe, in my opinion, she's either a top 2 or top 1 burst 1 right now, and a lot of it has to do with her skill 1. Regardless of damage output, I do feel like she brings a lot to the table just with her skill 1 alone. I want to talk about focusing, but I will bring that up last because I want to talk about her CDR is really good. This cooldown of burst skill at level 10, 7.48 seconds. You get a little bit of attack up, but this part as well. Brave actually has this skill, but Siren has this in her skill 1 too, which is crazy. Activates each time total ammo consumed by allies reaches 400 and affects all allies. Fills the burst gauge by 37%. So this is where the MG kind of play goes with her, and for good reason, because this burst gauge filling speed is really great with this CDR. That's insane. That's really good. But that's not all with this skill 1. This skill 1, in my opinion, this part at the top is the reason why I believe she is a broken character and that she's insane. Activates only when in focusing status and affects all allies. Focuses fire continuously. You might be asking, well, what does that really do? I don't really understand. So what happens is when you burst, when you go through the rotations like burst 1, burst 2, burst 3, when you do that full burst, all your allies are going to be shooting where you're aiming. But that only happens when you burst. This allows to do that focus, aim wherever you want, and all your teammates shoot wherever you want without having to burst. And that's really insane, meaning that you can focus on raptures, focusing on projectiles, focusing on QTEs without having to worry about being in burst or timing them. That's really, really insane to me. In my opinion, that alone makes her a top contender for a burst 1, but she also deals a lot of damage. And that's also because of her skill 2 right here. Bubble Wave, towards the bottom right here is where I really want to talk about. Activates every 1 second only during full burst and affects random enemy units. Deals 63.36% of the final attack as damage and attacks sequentially for 4 times. Activates each time total ammo consumed by allies reaches 500 this time. And affects random enemy units. Bubble Barrage deals 85% of the final attack damage, attacks sequentially for 10 times. So, getting her skill 2 up high as you can really benefits her because this is where her damage output really comes from. So honestly, I would recommend just maxing her out, kind of like how Crown is from last year. She is really needy, but she does provide a lot. And with her burst, this is also interesting because it kind of ties into some of the gear that you probably want for her, which is affects all allies, attack damage goes up 10.13% for 10 seconds, but reloads 33.26% of the magazines for everybody. But what affects herself is that her attack goes up 17.28% of the caster's attack for 10 seconds. So if you get her damage up, it would benefit from this burst. So I feel like it all kind of goes hand in hand, you know? But let's talk about equipment now. Because with equipment, it's a little interesting because when it comes to supports with overload, typically you really don't have to worry about leveling that support overload. You could just leave it at 0. But Siren is a specific case because she also deals a lot of damage. In my case, I have given her an SR doll that is maxed out at level 15. I have her at overload level 3 on all things across the board. She does have a good bit of attack, max ammo. She has a black hit rate line, which is crazy. That's actually kind of good just because she is an SMG, so I don't really have to worry about it that much. But I do have like 3 max ammo lines, 2 elemental, and 2 attack. When you're trying to figure out what you should prioritize for her, as usual, the attack, elemental attack, and then also if you can get 2 max ammo lines to benefit from her burst skill, that would actually be really good so she can reload less. And because of that, I am using the Bastion cube. Now you can go with whatever's the highest, but for me, based on that alone, especially since I'm pairing her with Crown, I am using Bastion. Now typically when I do testing, I like to go to the Union shooting range, but I want to do something a little bit different because I'm pretty amazed with Siren. So I want to actually test with Anomaly Interception. I'm going to be testing with Wind to try to benefit her, but then I'm going to be testing with Harvester, which she is Wind, not Water. So other units will have the advantage, and I want to show you how good she is. So let's get there real quick, because usually I just do the shooting range, but this time I really do feel like she deserves a bit of you know, a bit of a different spotlight. So we're going to head on over to the Arc. We are going to be going to the Interception, and we are going to be doing testing. So first things first, I already finished my dailies, okay? I already finished my dailies, but we are going to be doing practice room with the mock-up for Siren over here. So the characters that we are using are Crown, Asuka from Wave 2, Siren, we have Scarlet Black Shadow, and then we also have Helm or Burst Generation slash, I guess, healing if we need it. I'm hoping that's not the case, but for reference, I have like 90% elemental attack for Asuka. I have about 47% elemental for Scarlet Black Shadow, as well as for Siren. They both have the same amount. My Asuka doesn't have nowhere near as much as like actual, like, you know, kitted out, kind of like my Siren and Scarlet Black Shadow. But this is just going to be a point of reference because my Scarlet Black Shadow is doing really good. She could use better lines. She could have a partner here like Mana or Alice to benefit her, but it's not. So when we compare with Scarlet Black Shadow, keep those in mind. So put a little asterisk right there, but let's get started. And as always, I am going to be manualing to try to like do my best. I'm not going to auto. I typically don't auto. I actually do my dailies. So I'm going to just go ahead and do it. It is 3 minutes. So as always, give me 1 second and we will talk about the results. All right, so we ended up just wrapping up right now, and we are going to see what the results are. And right now, what we're looking at, you know, Crown, she's just there to support everybody. Same thing with Helm, just for the burst generation. Asuka did 1.1 billion. Little Mermaid did 1.3 billion, getting close to Scarlet Black Shadow. Now, obviously, when it comes down to this, Scarlet Black Shadow doesn't have the lines that I really want for her, nor does she have her partner. She would be benefiting more with Alice or Mana, but these numbers are kind of insane. Like, the fact that she is a B1 support, able to do this much to help, and for reference, I mean, you can see the combat power there. There is a little bit of a difference right now. I think Scarlet Black Shadow has about like 7,000 more, so she does have a lead. Asuka does not. She's doing a little bit less, yet she's still almost catched up with Little Mermaid. She's doing a lot for where she is build-wise. She's doing really good. But that's what I mean. She's a powerhouse. Now, she does really good, but this is because this is win advantage, right? This is where she is. So, obviously, she was going to be doing a lot of good damage, a lot of good numbers. But what about when she's not? So, let's go test with Harvester. Now, Harvester is water. And I've been having a lot of fun with a team with using Quincy, actually. It's this team right here. I've been having a lot of fun with this team, I'm not going to lie. Crown, Siren, using Quincy, using Helm, and then using Ludmilla as just like off-burst, just damage. I'm going to be doing the same thing that I did before when I was doing Kraken. I'm just going to go and complete it, and we will be talking about the numbers. I just want to show you how great she is, even when she's not going against her same element, and how much she helps the other team members as well. She does really good. So let's go into mock battle. Let's get started, and let's see what Siren is capable of. So as always, give me 1 second and I'll be right back. So we just wrapped up and we almost got 8. We were right there. Unfortunately, we didn't. But numbers wise, let's see where we got. And right now, it's kind of insane. So this is what I'm talking about, that Little Mermaid does hold up her own. Crown did almost 400 million. Little Mermaid did 772 million. Quincy did 1.7 billion, man. God bless her assets and her DPS. It's crazy. But then if we go look at Helm, Helm was the one bursting, and she did 800 million. Now, for reference, she has more combat power than her. She is maxed out 10-10-10 with treasure, and she is core 7 with some pretty decent lines. So they could be better, but the fact that she can kind of stack up, you know what I mean? And I mean, in comparison, Ludmilla was obviously doing DPS, but she was off bursting, so that's fine. But still, she is really, really good at what she's doing. Now, don't get me wrong, Rappy Red Hood, Litter, they're still amazing characters. It's not like they're bad all of a sudden, but I just want to say that she is really good. Now, I don't know where she's going to be on the list, but I wouldn't be surprised if she is in like a quote-unquote unbalanced category or something like that, because to me, she is really insane. And for a B1, I don't know when's the next time we're gonna get something better. Hopefully it's not so soon, because to me this is insane. I didn't understand all the people that were complaining as soon as the kit came out and they said they wanted buffs, even though we never even tested yet. Kind of ridiculous, but hey, it is what it is, right? With that being said, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on Siren, on the anniversary event in general. Are you guys happy about Siren and the results that we saw? Let me know what your guys' personal thoughts are. For me, I think she's probably going to be the best B1 in the game. I mean, for me, I already replaced Litter with Rappy Red Hood, but now that I could replace Rappy Red Hood and she could be Burst 3, she's the best DPS as Burst 3 in my opinion. So, I mean, it kind of makes sense. That's great. So, awesome stuff all around. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. That is going to be it for me. I hope you guys have a lovely day, lovely night wherever you're from. And as always, thank you so much for the constant support. Take care and have a good one.